Coming this fall from SJS Direct in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. You can pre-order your copy of The Man Crisis today on Amazon.com. One of the gravest mistakes a business owner can do is hire a beta male in a management position, a supervisory position, or an executive position. Because when it comes down to beta males oftentimes have feminine social characteristics and social behavior traits, and it's these feminine social traits and behavior traits that make them extremely ineffective in a management position, an executive position, or a leadership position. Now, your beta male by nature is a follower. And because your beta male is a follower, this is what makes him very ineffective as a leader. Now, beta males, they covet power, but oftentimes your beta male just does not want to take responsibility when given power, or he doesn't want to take authority when given power. And this is why a beta male is an extremely ineffective person to put in a leadership position. Now, when you place a beta male in a leadership position, an executive position, or a management position, what will happen with the beta male when given this responsibility, in addition to this power, is this beta male will eventually become overwhelmed. And because he becomes overwhelmed, he's going to participate in one of two behaviors. One, he is going to try to delegate his responsibilities onto a surrogate female who he will try to put in a mother position and try to foster a codependent relationship with that woman. Or two, he is going to abdicate all of his power from his position and then go into hiding. And having a beta male who participates in these two behaviors can be not only detrimental to your business, it can also be extremely destructive to your business. Because if he's not taking responsibility of the business, then who is running the business? Because as Gordon Ramsay said in Hell's Kitchen to many of the people who he trains to become executive chefs, either you run the kitchen or the kitchen runs you. And in the case of a beta male, he lets the business run him. And because he lets a business run him, the business winds up running off the rails because he winds up completely overwhelmed by all of the responsibilities that he has to take control of in that business. And this is why your beta male is just not an individual you want to place in a management position or an executive position, because your beta male just doesn't want to take responsibility for things. Instead, again, he wants to pass off his responsibility to a woman who he wants to make his surrogate mother, or he will just abdicate and let the business run itself right into the ground. So you don't want to have a beta male in a management position or an executive position if you value your business, you value your customers, or you value your clients in most cases, because as it relates to beta males, they just aren't ready for leadership, because leadership requires someone to be able to take responsibility. You also don't want beta males in leadership positions, because beta males, in addition to abdicating or just letting someone else run the business, don't want to deal with something called conflict. Now, in order to be a manager, a leader, or an executive, you have to be able to deal with conflict on the regular. And beta males, by nature, always look to avoid conflict, and they always look to avoid people because they don't want to confront problems. Now, men who have been raised in a functional two-parent household or have had interactions with a father or other male figures, they know that conflict is a part of life. And they know that in order to be an effective manager, you have to be very effective at not only confronting conflict, but also resolving conflict. Because in order to go out here and be able to build businesses, make deals, and be able to expand marketplaces or try to convince people that there is a marketplace, you have to be able to deal with conflict. And beta males, because they are always avoiding conflict, this is what makes them very ineffective as a manager or an executive. Because when you have a beta male, whenever there's a problem, he never wants to deal with it directly. And men who want to be leaders, men who want to build businesses and want to open new marketplaces, reach new customers, reach new clients, they are going to go out here and confront conflict directly. They are going to engage people directly, and they're going to want to look people dead in their eyes and let them know what they're going to sell and why people need this. This is something that a man is going to do in a workplace because he knows that as if he cannot lead himself, he cannot lead others. And in order for him to be able to blaze a trail, he has to take the lead in his own life. And beta males, they're too afraid to go out and blaze that trail. And this is why they just are not someone you want in a management position, because they don't want to deal with conflict. And if you're going to try to move up in a company or you're going to try to move a business forward, you have to be able to deal with conflict, and you have to be able to be diplomatic enough to be able to let people know what they're going to get out of being able to confront that conflict and be able to get ideas to be fostered during that conflict. But because your beta male is scared of conflict, again, they go and hide in their spaces, and that safe space, again, is what prevents them from being able to grow professionally, because they spend most of their time hiding and not going out and engaging people and letting them know what their vision is. And this is the other big problem with putting a beta male in a management position or a supervisory position or an executive position, is that your beta male just doesn't have much in terms of vision. Most beta males are usually short-sighted individuals, and they spend so much time thinking about now that they don't develop a plan for 5 years from now or 10 years from now, because with the beta male, it's just about today and never about tomorrow. And this is what makes putting a beta male in an executive position or a management position a very, very dangerous thing to do, because when you have a beta male in place, all he's going to do is think about the day to day and not think about tomorrow. And in a business, you really need someone in a management position or an executive position who can think about tomorrow, has a plan for where they want to go tomorrow, because this is a person who's going to set a direction for your business, whether it be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or 15 years from now, because this guy has a vision for what he wants to do, what direction he wants to go in, and because he has that confidence to engage conflict, what he's going to do is set a course for himself to go in that direction. But because your beta male is, again, a short-sighted individual, he's not only going to keep doing things the way he saw them done from the first day he was there. And when it comes down to your beta male, he's someone who is very risk averse. And you really don't want a very risk averse person working for you in a business, because in order to get rewards, you have to take risks, and in order to receive benefits from those rewards, again, you have to take risks. And your beta male is not someone who takes risks on the regular, because he always looks to play it safe. And in business, you really cannot play it safe, because what's safe is not going to help you grow. And when it comes down to some of these beta males, they will go out here and they will always avoid risk, but then they will get upset when someone else takes those risks and get the rewards. And they don't understand that risks come with rewards, and because they see others achieving, because they took a calculated risk. In some cases, what your beta male will do, because he's insecure and he overcompensates, is he will take a big risk and then he will lose big. And I've seen this happen at places like your Marvel Comics as related to their Force Diversity Initiative, and DC Comics as related to their new 52 comic book relaunch. And both of them failed because the company had leaders who were overcompensating, and what they did was take huge risks instead of taking a calculated risk. Because usually a balanced man, he's going to take a calculated risk. And when he takes the calculated risk, where he has had the vision, the plan, and laid out a platform where he has alliances and partners, he can take the calculated risk and gain rewards from it and benefit from those rewards. But because the beta male does not understand things like building relationships or taking or working towards a grand vision with a calculated risk, what happens is he winds up going overboard, taking a crazy risk, and then winds up losing everything. And this again is why you don't want a beta male in a management position, and you don't want him in an executive position, because either he will be too rigid and will not make efforts to make changes that will benefit him, nor will he, or he'll just go overboard, make a whole bunch of radical changes, and then everything will just fall apart. So having this guy and his bipolar behavior in a workplace really is a recipe for disaster, because as it relates to the beta male, he is not really equipped for leadership. And the core reason why he is not equipped for leadership is because he just doesn't have much confidence. Because as it relates to the beta male, one of the reasons why he's always avoiding responsibility is because he doesn't feel confident enough to go out here and take that responsibility. Because when it comes down to your beta male, he's a guy who's used to people giving him things, not going out to go get what he wants. And this is one of the reasons why you just can't put him in leadership positions, because leaders have to go out and get what they want. They have to be able to go out here and achieve what they want to achieve. They have to go out here and set goals for what they want to achieve. And as they're setting goals to achieve what they want to achieve, what they're doing is building relationships with others, getting them on board for what they want to do. And because they are confident, charismatic, and are radiating strong energy, people want to get behind them and see where they're going, and they want to reap those rewards with that person. That's what people do with leaders. When they hear a leader come out and say, hey, I want to go in this direction, they want to follow behind that person. And whenever you put a beta male in a leadership position, it's hard to get him to generate that energy, generate that enthusiasm, generate that passion that gets people motivated to do their best, because he's not confident that he can do his best. And this is what, problems with the beta male is that he's not confident, and because he's not confident, he cannot go out of his way to motivate others to have that confidence, that passion, and that energy. And because he doesn't have those things, what happens is people in the workplace, they either become extremely frustrated or they become extremely apathetic, and that leads to people either just going through the motions just to collect a paycheck, or they wind up eventually becoming so frustrated that they wind up leaving. And that also costs your business money because you're spending money on talent and you're not getting a return on investment on that talent because you have someone in a leadership position who just cannot motivate people to bring their best every day of the week. And when you have a beta male in a management position or an executive position, he does not motivate people to be their best in a workplace. He does not motivate people to go out here and bring their very best. And he will sit there and talk about how others need to be passionate, but he never brings any passion himself to his work. And because he does not bring any passion to his work, what happens is people don't become passionate about coming to work every day. And this guy's low energy winds up sucking the energy out of a business, and it makes it an absolutely dreadful place to be because you can have a business that could be absolutely a wonderful business with somebody with a vision, and all of that energy will wind up getting sucked out because this beta male is in this management position, and this beta male is just sitting there, and he either, again, because he's abdicated and is just gone and walked away, no one can go to him to get authority to pursue ventures to help improve things, or because he's delegated things to an overwhelmed woman, there's no way to be able to go out here and get anything done because everything has been bottlenecked due to this woman being overwhelmed in this codependent relationship where she's been given more power than she actually asks for in this job. And this is what happens when you bring beta males and place them in management positions, supervisory positions, or executive positions, is that these men, they will have this power, but they just don't have the confidence to be able to take responsibility for the workplace they're in. And because they don't have that confidence or the courage to go out and take risks, this is what leads to work environments stagnating and becoming just dreadful places to work. Because whenever you put a beta male in a management position, he just sucks the energy out of everything, and he sucks all the life out of a business. And this is why, again, you just don't want to hire a beta male to be in any sort of management position or supervisory position because beta males, they just don't like change, and that's another reason you just can't hire them to be managers, supervisors, or executives because managers, supervisors, and executives, part of your business is change, part of your business is adapting, and part of your business is being able to move things forward. But a beta male, his whole life is based on comfort, his whole life is based on routine, and it's all based on doing the exact same things over and over again because it's all about him being secure and not about him growing and changing. And managers are all about growing and changing because they're not out to just manage a company, they're out to take the lead and they're out to take charge of their own careers. And beta males, they are passive people and they're looking to be led, and they're good for certain labor positions, but they're not good for management or leadership positions because when you have a beta male in a leadership position like an executive or something like a television network, what they will do is continue running the exact same programming and not thinking about adapting to a new audience or a different audience, and that can impede something like a television network or a movie studio from growing. And when you have beta males in these type of places, this is why these companies wind up in decline because, again, beta males like routine, beta males like doing the exact same things over and over again, and beta males don't like change. So it's not good to have beta males in management positions or executive positions or supervisory positions because beta males, one, again, are not leaders, they're followers, they are extremely submissive, and everything in a workplace is all about their comfort and not about meeting the customer's needs or taking care of the customer's satisfaction so that they can build that audience and word of mouth. Because whenever you have a beta male, just like a female in many cases in the workplace, it's all about them and not about the customer or the client. Whereas with a regular man, because he understands that this company is the way that he takes care of himself, this company is the way he meets his needs, this company is the way he eats, he needs to be able to meet those customers' goals. He needs to be able to make those customers happy, because if you make the customers happy, it leads to more word of mouth, which winds up building your reputation and building your brand. And beta males are not focused on intangibles like customer service or building a brand. It's more about their feelings, more about their comfort, and more about what the business can do for them, not about what they can do for a business. So when you hire a beta male, they are good for certain labor positions, but they aren't very good in management positions, supervisory positions, or leadership positions, because whenever somebody gives them power, these guys just never want to take any sort of responsibility. If you want to learn a bit more about beta males, you can do so by picking up my new nonfiction book, The Man Crisis, in paperback, and it will be available on Kindle on October 29th. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon by clicking the link in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.